Google has been working with a number of very large libraries to scan just a huge number of books into electronic format and put them into the Google Books collection. You can get to Google Books from any Google page by opening More and choosing Books, or by typing books.google.com into the URL space. Of course, Google is a commercial enterprise, so they will be very happy to sell us books at their ebook store. And this My Library link will ask you to set up a Google account, which lets them track your searches so that their advertisers can target your interests. But we'll ignore all that and go over here to the research side. If I search something like deaf culture, I get the familiar Google results page. It's showing me ads here at the top and the side, but they're helpfully labeled. But the rest of the results are books. And you can see that over here in the left frame, books are highlighted. And by the way, if you've started by doing a regular Google web search, you can get to Google's book collection just by selecting books in that left column. So here we are again in the list of books that include the word deaf and the word culture. Now we can use all of the regular Google search features here. So if I want just books that use the exact phrase deaf culture, I can put them in quotation marks, and that brings my 163,000 items down to about 17,000. Or I could use the all in title command to ask for just books with deaf and culture occurring in the title. And that takes it down to just a few thousand, but in this case I'll stick with the original search of deaf and culture. Google Book Search offers me some nice limits over here on the left. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up. The search engine automatically sorts most relevant first, and you can see that we're getting items from lots of different time periods all together here, so it's tried to sort by relevance. We can ask it to sort by date, and then we do get the most recent items, but they may not be the most relevant items. So a better option is probably to come here under Any Time, pick Custom Range, and give the date range that you want. You can leave the end date blank. And now we see our date range up at the top. And I'll go back and have it sort by relevance again. Now how much of the book you actually get to see is up to the copyright holder, and here are some of the choices they can make. Some books will say no preview. Click into them, and all you get is information about the book. You can't see inside the book at all, but we do get quite a bit of information. We can see how well received it's been. We get information about the author sometimes, and we get all the bibliographic information so we can see the subjects that it's about, and that can help us make a decision if we want to pursue getting that book. Another option the copyright holder may choose is Snippet View. In Snippet View, we can search the book for our terms, and we can see how often the terms show up. Apparently the phrase deaf culture shows up on 52 different pages of this book, and we get to see just a few snippets, a sentence or two around where our term shows up in the text. But many of the books will let us see a preview. This means you're allowed to see some predetermined amount of the book. And this is what it looks like. If we open the contents, you can see that some of the chapters have been grayed out. You won't be allowed to see those, but we can go look into some of the others. Once we're in the book, we can scroll through a chapter, or we can page along with arrows. And you can see that some pages will be excluded from the preview. And also with copyrighted material, you will not be able to copy and paste. There's no way to grab the text here, and you won't be able to print pages out. But they do often let you see a surprising amount of the book, sometimes enough to complete your research, but certainly enough to decide if you need to pursue obtaining a copy of that book. So now that you've seen some of the different possibilities, you might want to limit your search to just items that have a preview available. Now after you've looked a book over, if you decide you do need to see the rest of it, of course Google is going to make it easy for you to buy the book from their advertisers over here on the left. But take a look at this Find in a Library link. That will take you into WorldCat. I'm going to right-click on that and open it in a new window. WorldCat is a huge combined international library catalog, and it will show you the nearest library that has the book. You can see that it knows that we don't have it. If we did, we would be listed here because we participate. But you can see that lots of libraries in the area do have it, so you could probably obtain this book pretty quickly from our interlibrary loan service. Now before we quit Google Books, we need to take a look at the free Google eBooks. I'll remove the date limitation and select just the free books. Almost all of the free Google eBooks are free because they are so old that the copyright has expired. Here's American Annals of the Deaf. This was published in 1895. Now copyright is complicated, but generally speaking, things go out of copyright 70 years after the author's death. And depending on your topic, these historical books may or may not be useful. If you need a copy of Moby Dick or The Origin of Species or any other classic work, it's probably available here for free. But if you're looking for more recent material, the free Google eBooks are really not going to be very useful. Even if we try setting a date range, take a look at the first couple of items. These claim to be published in 2009, but in fact they are just reprints of out-of-copyright books. And if I investigate Joseph Denny, just doing a quick Google search on him, we find that he was an author and journalist writing in the late 1700s. Find lots of items like that in the free Google eBooks, so be wary. Now with this search, malaria, and I've limited to just books published after 2008, we get one more type of item that you should be aware of, and that's ones that are available in full view. Most of the full view items will be coming from organizations like the World Health Organization, the World Bank, UNICEF, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and so forth. Many organizations give out their reports for free, and most of these will let you view the whole item but not print or copy, just like the preview items. But you may find some, like this one, which allow you to download the whole report. And that's an introduction to using Google Books. It can be a nice tool for identifying items that exist on your topic, and if you don't get the information you need from the preview that's allowed, you can link right over to WorldCat to see if we have it, and if we don't, you can use the information there to request the book from our interlibrary loan service. Try it out, and if you have any trouble with it, be sure to ask your friendly librarian for assistance.